What's up, guys? So this is a exclusive video for Patreon members. So welcome back. Thank you for supporting me, and I would like to share with you guys some of the real pretty valuable information that I've found or learned, researched throughout my career and study. Specifically, I want to talk about whether you should study in Germany, Switzerland, or Canada, Australia, United States if you are going to major computer science or software engineering. So obviously most of you guys already know that I have majored in computer science and working as a software engineer now. I have worked in Canada, United States, BlackBerry, Microsoft, and a startup, and also right now big company, 10th biggest company in the world in software engineer. Anyways, and I've done quite a bit of research into working or studying in Europe, Australia, Canada. And you might be wondering, like, oh yeah, Sashi already told me that. Sashi said in other video that university education is free in Germany and Switzerland, so it's kind of cool. And also the university ranking for computer science department in like university in Zurich, Munich, and Berlin are pretty high. So maybe you're thinking like, yeah, that's cool, free education and pretty reputational school. So like just upsides with no downside. But you know what? I've been researching about looking into jobs and whatnot, and a few concerns that I want to talk about. I wanted to bring up because that might change your decision-making process. Basically, you need to factor in many things. So I want to talk about that as much as possible. So first thing that I would, personally, if I can go back, let's say 10 years ago, where would I study? Would I come to Canada again to study computer science, or would I go to Switzerland or Germany or Sweden or Norway? And it's a hard question to ask, but definitely because of the depends on priorities like money or school reputation or practical industry experience. It depends on people's priorities, right? But for me, I can never go to American university because of just a sheer high cost, education cost. It's like as an international student, I need to pay, if I go to good school, at least $40,000 a year, so maybe $150,000 in 4 years. I don't want to do that, and I would definitely look for other ways to get into good computer CS university with potential good job opportunities. So United States out, left are Canada, Australia, Germany, Switzerland. Would I go to Australia? Probably not. The reason being, you know what? It's pretty expensive. Good ones like Sydney, Melbourne, I think more than 30,000 a year. And living cost is expensive as well. And they have 3 years bachelor degree. But as an international student, probably you need to go to a foundation course for 1 year and then go to university for 3 years. And so $40,000 a year, it's going to be pretty expensive. And Canadian universities are that expensive as well. The most expensive one, like $40,000, $50,000, UBC and University of Toronto. But when you compare good Australian and Canadian universities, the biggest negative thing about going to Australia is less job opportunities. Just because the distance, so far away from the the center of the economy, which is the United States, and then specifically Silicon Valley in Seattle, Tech, San Jose, Seattle, far away, less job opportunities, less internship, so it's hard to get yourself at the front door. So that's the biggest concern. my biggest concern is to graduate from university after paying more than $100,000 and I cannot get a job. That's like a worst and worst, right? So I want to avoid that at all costs. So that's why Australia is out. Expensive as Canada, but less job. Period, less job. It's not that bad, but you're basically you can have more opportunities by choosing other location. That's what I'm saying. So now comes Europe. Germany, Switzerland, they both provide free university education. That's good. Huge plus. I definitely like the idea of, free computer science major in 3 years. That's cool. And on top of that, in Switzerland, there are like 2 or 3 really world-renowned universities. Technical University of Zurich or something like that, and also University of Zurich, like ETH or Eco Political something. That's probably top 10 in university in computer science. But because of that, it's super competitive to get in. And if you're just a normal Japanese high school student, probably you won't be able to get in because English score requirement is just so high, like TOEFL 100 or something like that. And also it's free, so it's pretty competitive. Everybody wants to go there pretty much. So it's highly unlikely that I could get into that top, Swiss university because of the first English, of course. So Switzerland, I wish if I had really fluent English score, then I would definitely consider free education, top, ranked university. But what's concerning is the work visa in Switzerland because it's so tight right now. Only 3,000 work visa issued every single year for foreigners. It's extremely difficult to work in Switzerland after. So I read people saying most people come to study master's degree at University of Computer Science, and then they leave Switzerland after for job opportunity because they can't. There are many companies there, but most of them are financial companies, and they're looking for senior level, intermediate level, and also they're looking for German-speaking engineers, not English-speaking. If anything, only the big, top 2 big companies, Google and Facebook, are hiring a PhD grad student for computer vision, because the ETH, the university, is really reputational for computer vision. Famous prof there. So Facebook actually has office there for the VR and the virtual reality product team. Something. Octopus or something. It's not octopus. And Google there, but definitely master's or PhD level, kind of more of a research-oriented department for sure. So bachelor, not enough. So what about Germany and Sweden and Amsterdam? So Berlin, Munich, Amsterdam, and Stockholm, those 4 cities are pretty much really cool big tech hub cities. And especially Amsterdam and Stockholm, as long as you can speak English, you won't have any language issue. That's what I'm saying. Munich, more German-speaking jobs. Berlin, they definitely look for English-speaking international engineers. So Amsterdam, Berlin, Stockholm, you probably don't have any issue with language, given that you have English. But how much opportunities they have? Amsterdam and Berlin, they have pretty big startup community there, total of 1 billion startup funding. So that tells you quantifiable number of how much money is into the industry, meaning how many jobs are gonna be there, which is a good indication. In terms of internship opportunities and the pay, Amsterdam probably average software engineer gets paid 40,000 euro. Berlin, 45,000 euros. So 40 to 45 euros. So converted to Japanese yen or like American dollar or Canadian dollar, it's pretty decent, but not as good as United States. Here comes the caveat. I'm not sure how much internship experience you are going to have in Germany and Amsterdam, because I don't think paid internship or co-op is as popular there as in North America. And they have an apprenticeship program, so they pay you pretty low and stuff. But work visa wise, Amsterdam, Netherlands, and Germany, and Stockholm, they have probably no issue. As long as you have a job offer, you can apply for a work visa by yourself, which is a good thing, because companies don't need to sponsor your work visa. They don't need to pay lawyer expensive money to fill in the visa application fees, which is the case in United States. It costs $5,000 to hire a lawyer to apply for H-1B visa. It's huge overhead. That's why it's hard in United States. So work visa wise, it's okay. So how about junior level opportunities? Even if there are so many jobs, if there aren't many positions available for junior level, it doesn't make sense, right? It doesn't matter, because you can't, get yourself into the door, So how much? Germany, I see here and there, junior level. Munich as well. Amsterdam as well, but definitely less. So that's concerning. That's really concerning that there are not many junior level positions. Berlin for sure, they're mostly looking for intermediate senior. Amsterdam as well, Munich as well. So it's really luck. And do you want to bet the rest of your career in timing? Do you want to put all the risks in that, just a little bit of luck? That's something to consider. Because in Canada, less, junior positions than in the United States. So United States is the king when it comes to, not the entire cities in the United States, but West Coast and New York. But education cost is so high, so it's impossible to work there in this study. So that's why I'm considering whether I would have gone to Canadian university or German university. Most likely, I wouldn't have been accepted to Swiss university because it's just a high competition. It's the best in the world. And also German university as well. The best one in Munich and Berlin. They're pretty, and their entrance system is a little, I don't know how easy it is to transition into education system there without going through a college and a transfer to university, just like I did. So that's something, you need to have definitely a good English proficiency to get into German university. And then from there, you need to have, you need to study quite a bit in 3 years, because they're going to cram you into, you need to cram a lot of stuff, materials in just 3 years. They don't have a fluff like general liberal arts kind of subjects, because they squashed entire degree into 3 years as opposed to 4 years. So it's going to be pretty intense for sure. And the other thing is that universities there are a little more theoretical, definitely, because more theory and math oriented. So that's concerning as well, because they don't really probably teach you much about software engineering practice. They do teach, but I would say definitely less. I don't know. So it really varies by university's curriculum. So that's concerning, because all it matters when you're graduating from bachelor and then getting a software engineering job is practical software engineering skill, which is not computer science. It's a derivative of computer science. It's a branch of a computer science, but it's definitely not the same. And you need a practical experience and some courses in university teach you more about software engineering. Some others don't. So that's concerning as well. It comes down to, even if you get free education, if education and work experience doesn't enable you to become a software engineer, then it has no point, right? So that's something that I'm debating. So I think it's a good idea to go to get a master's degree if you are going to European university for bachelor. I think it helps to, get paid more and get job if you have masters in Europe. Whereas if you go to a Canadian university 4 years, you probably definitely don't need a master's degree to get a job. So that's something, because I've been hearing that, like Austrian guy who did a bachelor and also did a master's, but no work experience, get paid less than I do if I were in Austria, because work experience matters. And many people there from bachelor to master without much work experience. And a master doesn't mean it's practical and useful. I've looked at many master's degree program there, Munich University in Switzerland. I was looking for specific courses like practical one, like big data, machine learning and stuff, but most of them are just pure computational theoretical stuff, algorithm, database, compiler design, hardware, and that wouldn't probably, that I don't see those, like computer vision or graphics. I don't see those jobs at all. It's really specific, narrow field, and that doesn't probably help me get a job just because I have masters. So you need to kind of know what is trending in industry, and you need to pick, cherry pick what kind of skills you want to get from master's degree. So you can't just blindly get a master's and expect to get a job right after. So that's something that I've definitely thought about doing a master's in Switzerland and Germany. It's cool because I can live there for 1 year or 2 years for free, like education wise free. Living cost is not free, obviously. Get a master's level qualification, and also can get to live in a city. I can get a feel of what it's like to live in Munich or Switzerland. But 2 years, they do 2 years, yeah. 2 years, basically putting my life on being put on a pause. I didn't want to do that. 2 years is really big, and also if it doesn't really help me gain more professional skills, then it doesn't matter, because I get paid more by learning and growing as a software engineer. Having more experience in software engineer is sometimes more important than just going to masters, because skills from masters don't necessarily translate into software engineering skills. So after a few years, my boss told me that after 2 or 3 years of experience, masters don't matter. Masters just for first getting a job. Your resume, recruiter is gonna notice your resume more than other people. That's it. But still, you need to do well in in-person interview. If you don't do well, then it doesn't matter. You have masters. And I have a colleague, friend from SFU who has a master's degree. He said, you don't need to get masters, because he did some computer graphics masters, and it doesn't help him do better in his current job. Most of the time, masters don't necessarily relate to a real world experience, unless you're becoming a researcher, or unless you're doing a big data science, or data scientist or data engineer, which is another cool latest program, which is pretty much only available in North America because it's latest. There's one in Munich that's doing a big data machine learning, Munich. So yeah, that's kind of thing that pretty deep and technical stuff about studying in Germany and Switzerland. Hope you got some values out of this. Yep, Patreon exclusive video. It's gonna be like this. Super valuable stuff for super serious people like you. So thank you for supporting me, and expect to see 1 or 2 videos coming in a month, monthly. Hopefully I'll see you guys next time. Ask me questions if you have any question. Let me know. Bye bye.